Well, hey there! Welcome! I'm Shauna, and you have stumbled upon Witchcraft Now. Guess what? Today, we are actually doing a craft. Astonishing, I know. And I'm going to remember to push the record button this time. So, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay, so here's what we're doing today. We are making an eyeshadow palette organizer out of cooling racks that I found at the Dollar Tree. Now, you're going to need 3 cooling racks, and you are going to need some zip ties. And these are also at the Dollar Tree. Fancy little crochet holder for another little Dollar Tree jar. Yeah, if I'm not at Target and I don't get my things there, a lot of the time it comes from the Dollar Tree. So, because they have such fabulous things. So I'm going to scoot this on over the way. You can see how wide it is. And I'm going to set it over here because we need room to work. And yes, this is my craft table, so there are crafts on it. I cleared it off to the best of my ability, but I did leave things that I knew I was going to be using soon up here because, I mean, obviously going to be needing those. Here I have my little tray that I'm going to be needing with some pliers, my zip ties. Yeah, you'll probably need some pliers. Unless you have like super strong fingers, I would suggest some pliers. Needle nose, regular pliers, whatever you got. And one of these cooling racks is going to be cut. This one already has been. If you can see, I cut the end of it off. And I cut it from this side of it, so it's whole. You want this second thing here to be part of it. This is going to be the bottom base of the structure that's going to hold it upright. We're going to put this over here out of the way. We're going to clip that. I'll probably clip a couple and then do the rest off camera, or I'll just speed it up or something. Let's get rid of the tags. We don't need those. And here's what we need to do. We have to bend these, okay? Where we need to bend them, they have 4 of these little things on them, right? Because a cooling rack essentially sits up off of the counter to set stuff on to cool, okay? Obviously. Now, where we want to bend them is this first little bend. If you see it right here, it's already bent right here on this side and this side. You want to bend it all of the other way, all the other pieces, just in line with this first bend. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. All right, so we're going to line this up to the other curve, the other bend, and we're just going to bend it. All right, get it a little bend going. Obviously, we don't have to bend the one that's already bent, just the other ones. I'm going to have to move this out of my way because that noise is going to drive me crazy. There, sounds good. Gotta have room to work. That's why I built this giant table, so I could have space. And then I keep it so cluttered with stuff that I hardly have room. This table is massive. I should never run out of room, but I've got so many things dragged out constantly. I can't craft in a clean environment, apparently. It has to be so cluttered up that I can't hardly see anything. We're just giving all these a slight little bend, all lined up with the other one. They're going to look all crooked and jacked up to start with. Have no fear, it's fine. It will all work out in the end, I promise. All right, isn't that good? Now, I'm going to set this on the edge of the table where all the bends are, and I am going to push down. I'm going to have to stand up for this. I need some strength. Gotta have some body strength. Move my chair out of the way. All right. See what we're doing here? Now we may have to go back and bend it some more, obviously, because it's still, you know, cockeyed. You want it flush like that. But I'm going to go ahead and start on this side. And again, flush against the table. And put your muscles in it. Get that bent. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these needle nose pliers here because these seem a little more logical for what I'm trying to do, and bend these outside ones because these outside ones are just a little bit thicker. Those are the ones that are going to take a little more effort to get bent. Get bent, yo! Then, after we get these worked out, the inside ones should follow suit. And I know I said these outside ones were the only ones that might need the pliers, but apparently I was wrong, because these need a little extra attention as well. You want a nice flush bend. You want it to be able to fit into and flush next to the other one, because we're going to do that one the exact same way, the second one. Now, see what we got there? And notice these little bends, these little pokey things that normally would sit face down are on the inside, okay? So I'm gonna bend that to where it's like an L shape on one side, and then do the same for the other. So I'm gonna do this off camera, so I'm not sitting here repetitively doing the same thing over and over again. There we go. Now if it gets bent too far, like this side seems like it's bent in a little too far, looks a little lopsided, this side is bent in further than this side, don't worry about it. It's all gonna be fine, I promise. It's gonna fix itself. Once we do the other one and bust out the zip ties, it's going to be completely meshed with one another. Now I'm going to do the other one off camera, and then I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I moved to the camera in hopes that maybe you guys could see a little better. We'll see how this works out. Now I did leave one side of the second one undone because I noticed something that I did not notice on the original one that I made. If you can see, like when I'm bending this edge right here, even though it is bent right there, it kind of, this whole thing from this line to the curve kind of points downward, right? I fixed this side so it's straight all the way to the edged curve that we created. Now this one, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I put the needle nose pliers down and got the bigger pliers again, and what I did was simply turn the pliers kind of like that, right? So you're leaving the curve, but you're pushing this center part on the line, this line right here, up, okay? So you want to do that at the same time while bending with your hand, okay? And on the, I'll do both edges just like that. Okay, now on these ones in the center, you do the same thing, but I'm kind of holding it on top of this wire that's running downward to keep it stable while bending these others up and bending this back in the straight line where it was supposed to be to begin with. And that is going to straighten out this edge to where it's just not bending in on itself, like curved, because that's not really what we want. Now that I know this, I can go back in and fix the one I've already made and be able to fit smaller palettes in it. I think that's going to help considerably. Now, see? All straightened out. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to put, okay, so this one wants to slide in. This one's bent a little more than this one. So we're going to put this on the outside of this other one. Whichever one acts like it wants to bend in the furthest, that's the one you want on the outside. It's just going to hold it better, right? Okay, so it just fit in there, just like that. See, it's a little cockeyed, but we can fix that. All we have to do is pull it. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to get our little wire cutters. I hope this thing works. I may actually have to go get the legit wire cutters, because I don't even know what this thing is. And we're going to cut it on this side of the outside edge, right? Because we want this nice clean edge over here. We want to try to create a nice clean edge on this side as well. This isn't going to work. I need the wire cutters, wherever those things are. Oh, good grief. Be prepared, Shauna. Be prepared. Okay, I found these. These are needle nose pliers, but apparently the little thing inside of here, right here in the center edge, is sharper than my wire cutters. So these work. Well, they did just a second ago. There we go. I don't really know that I'm going to be able to find use for the rest of this thing, but I might have a project at some point where I'll be needing some little random ass wires. I'm such a hoarder, I swear. I keep every little thing because I know at some point I'm going to need it. I'm going to take this ring off. This is just bending my ring. Look what this is doing to my ring, y'all. Oh my God, it's just bent it all to pieces. Yeah, let's take that off. Try not to hurt yourselves. Apparently this is dangerous work. Good Lord. I don't remember finding it this challenging the first time I did it. I don't know what pair of wire cutters I used though. They clearly weren't the ones I originally started with, and I don't think it was these ones. So if you got some sharp wire cutters, that's the way to go. Oh my God, I freaking did it. Okay. Let me see if I can fix my ring now. I gotta take a breather after that. That stressed me out and bent my ring out. I gotta do some breath work. Whew. Maybe light some incense. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Hold that thought. Okay, now that the dangerous part is over, we can commence with what we were doing. All right, so we've got these two pieces together, right? No problem. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to start with our little zip ties. And I'm going to show you how to put them on here without them slipping and sliding all over the place. You're going to connect this corner with this first little thing right here, and it's not going to get like super tight. There will be an edge, but don't tighten it all the way. Leave it where you can get another one in between it. Do the same thing over here on both sides. Okay. So basically what we're doing is we're using 8 on each corner. 4 to do this, and then 4 to tighten them up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go right over here on the very corner where the actual edge of the thing is, and the corner that we made, and put it in underneath both of those. But when you do that, go through the little loop that you just created. Make sure that it goes inside of this loop. That'll keep it from sliding all around this area and ensure that it stays in place. So then tighten this up all the way, as tight as it'll go, and then tighten this one. Okay, same thing over here. Going through here on the very corner, through the loop. Make sure that when you're doing this, the corners that you touch, make sure they're good and tight, and that the corner is actually in there, right? All right, last one for the top, and then I'm going to do the bottom, and then I will meet you back when I'm finished with this on both sides. Okay, so now we've got both sides finished, and I'm just finishing clipping off this other side right here. Already clipped the bottom part. This right here, you're going to want these little nubs facing up. If you don't, because of the fact that they're off-centered, it's going to like make your eyeshadow organizer like sit all cockeyed. You don't want that. So you want those facing up. Okay? Now, we're going to go in here, get us some more zip ties, and going in through the wire and through this, like the first one we put in and it was loose and we tied the other one to it. Go through the wire and through the zip tie, okay? And then put it on the bottom edge over here. That's really nice and stable. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take another one right here in the center of the little thing, probably two in the center to hold each side along the corner, like stable. First, I'm going to cut these off the bottom because they're aggravating. I have a feeling that this one is going to be much better than the first one. And I'm going to want to do some reshaping to the first one. I'm wondering if my 9-pan color pops might fit in here. I am super curious about that at this point because it seems like a little more narrow this way than the other one, because the other one's still curved instead of being super like sharp corners. So I don't know, we shall see. Very curious. Let's see, how many things we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So down 4. Down 4 more. It'll be even as far as spatially. I know that it seems like we're using a lot of zip ties, but yeah, we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But it will all be worth it in the end. This thing was awesome. I looked and looked and looked all over online trying to find like DIY eyeshadow holders, right? I did see one that was super cool, and it was made with the little like kid bookshelf things that hang on the wall, and they're rather thin, and they're just for books to like sit up on. Those looked like they would be very useful, but I didn't have those or anything like it on hand. So I went this route, and I'm glad I did, because once I figured it out and thought to myself, okay, what do I have in this house that will be thin enough but wide enough for little eyeshadow palettes to stick in? You know, I know I've got to have something here. And I did. I found an old CD case, like a CD holder that's made out of wire, and I really thought that was going to work, but it's too thin to hold the majority of my palettes. We are almost finished, folks. We have got 4 more, and that's it. And there we have it, boys and girls. An eyeshadow palette, organizer, holder, keeper, whatever you want to call it. And here we go. Just fits right in there, just like that. Ta-da! Oh my God, I'm so excited. Look how easy. Okay, maybe not easy. That one part where my fingers started hurting was not easy. The rest of it was easy. But look, it just stands up. It's nice and sturdy. It doesn't wobble around. It's perfect. It's a perfect little eyeshadow holder, and it fits right perfectly in a little cubby or a bookshelf, vanity, wherever you want to stick it. I mean, you're good. Aren't you excited? Because I'm excited. I have more things to make, like a list of things to make. And I hope you will join me when I start on this list. Lots of things, different things. Not necessarily pertaining to makeup, actually. So I also want to do an altar tour soon, so that should be fun. In the meantime, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you later.